Toby belongs to me. He's mine. Get in the river.
The river did not give back the body that night. People said they heard a splash. Some said they heard a scream. But by morning, the first wife was gone, and only her broken calabash floated near the bank of the sacred waters of Oshun. The village of Ogun sat quietly near the river. It was not a big village. Mud houses stood in rows. Goats walked freely. Women pounded yam in the open. Children fetched water before school. Life was simple and slow. The river was the heart of the village. The elder said it was not an ordinary river. It belonged to Oshun. People did not joke with it. They did not insult it. Every year, they poured honey and palm oil into the water to show respect. Some said the river had saved lives before. Others said it had taken lives. In that village lived a man named Toby. He was a cocoa farmer. He was not rich, but he was not poor. He worked hard. He had 2 wives. The first wife was Morenike. She came from a nearby town. She was quiet, patient, and hardworking. She woke up before the sun. She swept the compound. She cooked. She helped on the farm. She spoke gently to everyone. Even when people annoyed her, she did not fight. The second wife was Ade. She was younger. She was beautiful and bold. She laughed loudly. She liked fine wrappers and beads. When she married Adewale, she believed she would become the favorite. But that did not happen. Toby respected Morenike. He trusted her with money. He discussed farm plans with her. He ate her food first. He slept in her room more often. Not because he loved Ade less, but because Morenike had been there longer and had earned his trust. This small difference began to grow like a weed in Ade's heart. At first, Ade only complained to her friends. He treats her like a queen, she would say. As if I am not here. Her friends would laugh. You are younger. Give him time. But time did not change anything. Morenike became pregnant. The whole house celebrated. Bose smiled in public, but inside her chest something burned. When Morenike gave birth to a baby boy, the village women danced. Toby killed a goat. People came with gifts. Ade stayed inside her room that day. She said she had a headache. After that, small fights began. If Morenike cooked soup, Ade would say it had too much salt. If Morenike washed clothes, Ade would say she missed some stains. If Morenike bought things in the market, Ade would say she wasted money. Morenike did not answer back. She only said, "We are in the same house. Let us live in peace." But peace was not what Ade wanted. One evening, as the sun was going down, Ade followed Morenike to the river. Morenike carried a baby on her back and a calabash in her hand. She wanted to fetch water before it became dark. The river was calm. The air was cool. Crickets were already making noise. You walk too slow, Ade said behind her. I have the baby, Morenike replied softly. They reached the riverbank. Morenike bent down carefully. She placed the baby on a cloth close to her feet. She knelt to fill her calabash. Ade stood behind her. That was when the thought became action. There was no long argument. No shouting. Just one hard push. Morenike slipped. Her hands tried to grab something, but there was nothing. She fell into the river. The water swallowed her quickly. The current was stronger than it looked. The baby began to cry. Ade stood still for a few seconds. Her heart beat fast. She looked around. No one was there. She slipped, she whispered to herself. It was an accident. She picked up the baby and ran back to the village shouting, "Help! Help!" She fell into the river. Men rushed with lanterns. They searched the water. They called her name. They found nothing. The river did not give her back. The village mourned. Toby cried like a child. He blamed himself for allowing her to go alone. Bose cried too. She beat her chest. She told everyone Morenike slept. Some women nodded. The river could be tricky. After 7 days, the elders poured libation by the river. They begged Oshun to forgive any wrong done by the village. Life slowly moved on. Ade became the only wife in the house. She took care of the baby. She moved into Morenike's room. But something began to change. 3 weeks after the drowning, a fisherman from the next village came to Ogun. He brought strange news. I saw a woman by the river bend near the old Iroko tree, he said. She was sitting on a rock. Her skin was shining in the sun. She wore clean white cloth. I thought she was a spirit. The women laughed. Maybe you drank too much palm wine. But 2 days later, a trader said the same thing. I saw her too. She looked like Morenike. Fear spread quietly. On the 4th week, early in the morning, Toby heard a knock on his door. He opened it. Morenike stood there. She was not wet. She was not dirty. Her skin looked smooth. Her face looked brighter. She held a small pot covered with cloth. Toby stepped back in shock. Are you a ghost? She shook her head. I am alive. The village gathered quickly. Some people ran away. Others touched her arms to see if she was real. She told her story in simple words. When I fell into the water, I thought I would die. I could not breathe. But something held me. I did not feel fear after that. I woke up on the riverbank far from here. An old woman was there. She gave me dry clothes. She gave me food. She said the river was not ready to take me. She did not mention Oshun by name, but everyone understood. The old woman gave me this pot, she continued. She said I should use it well and not be greedy. She opened the pot. Inside were small gold beads and cowries. Gasps filled the air. Toby fell to his knees. He thanked God. He thanked the river. He held his wife and child tightly. Ade stood at the back of the crowd. Her hands were shaking. From that day, things changed quickly. The gold beads were sold in the city. Toby used the money to buy more land. His cocoa farm grew. He built a bigger house with zinc roof. Morenike started a small trade in palm oil and cloth. The business did well. More money came. Morenike herself changed in appearance. Her skin glowed. Her hair grew thick. People said she looked 10 years younger. Men respected her. Women admired her. They began to call her the woman the river returned. Ade watched all of this with dry lips and restless eyes. At night, she began to have dreams. In the dreams, she stood by the river. The water turned yellow like gold. A voice called her name. Sometimes she saw Morenike standing inside the water, smiling at her. She stopped sleeping well. Then misfortune started. Her small farm of vegetables dried up. Goats she bought fell sick. Money she saved went missing. She accused servants of stealing. She fought with neighbors over small things. People began to avoid her. One afternoon, during a village meeting, an old man stood up. There is something we must talk about, he said. The river does not act without reason. If someone pushed that woman, the river knows. Silence fell. Ade felt her chest tighten. That night she went to the river alone. She stood at the same spot where she had pushed Morenike. I am sorry, she said softly. It was a mistake. The water was quiet. Weeks passed. Her mind did not rest. She started talking to herself. Sometimes she laughed alone. Sometimes she shouted at invisible people. One day, she walked into the market half-dressed. Her hair was rough. She accused traders of gossiping about her. No one had said anything. Children began to run when they saw her. Toby tried to help her. He took her to a healer in a nearby town. The healer gave herbs. Nothing changed. One evening, Bose screamed loudly and ran toward the river. People chased her. They found her sitting in shallow water, crying. "She is calling me," Ode kept saying. "She is calling me inside." There was no one there. From that day, she did not return fully to her senses. She stayed in a small hut at the edge of the village. Sometimes she was calm. Sometimes she shouted at the river. Meanwhile, Morenike continued to prosper. She did not insult Ode. She sent food to her hut. She told the children not to mock her. Years passed. Toby's farm became one of the biggest around. Traders came from the city. His son grew strong and went to school. Every year during the festival for Oshun, Morenike wore white cloth and carried honey to the river. She knelt quietly and poured it into the water. She never said long prayers. She only said, "Thank you." The story of what happened spread to nearby villages. Some believed it was a miracle. Some believed it was guilt that destroyed Ode. Others believed the river punished jealousy. But the people of Ogun remembered one clear fact. The river did not give back the body that night. It gave back a living woman weeks later. And the one who pushed her never found peace again. In the end, Ode madness did not come like lightning. It came slowly, like a crack in a wall that grows wider each day. She lost her beauty first. Then her sleep. Then her friends. Finally, she lost her mind. Morenike did not become proud. She did not boast. She lived simply, even with her new wealth. She helped widows. She paid school fees for 2 orphan girls. She repaired the village well. When people asked her what truly happened in the river, she always said the same thing. "I was not alone in the water." And that was enough. The elders would nod and look toward the sacred waters of Oshun flowing quietly under the sun.